What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another MLB DFS video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're going to love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys for joining me as always. GreenlightDFS.com. Welcome back. I know. All of y'all are cussing me out right now. Where have the DFS videos been? I hate you. You suck. I'll never watch another one of your videos. I know. I get it, and I deserve it. Man, I've just been so busy, man, with working with the people over at Prosmate Easy, working over there, continuing to nonstop study to have our optimals dominate at Greenlight DFS. I mean, we've been having a ton of success in baseball and basketball, showdowns of especially the NBA showdowns have been going crazy. And just working on having once again another consistent year where we're just consistently trying to make profit, and by the end of the year making a good bit of money here in baseball. As you guys know, basketball is about to stop. It's going to be baseball only, and you guys know what time it is. All right, we have been absolutely demolishing baseball over the last 3, 4 years, and it's time to just keep that going, man. And I'm sorry that I haven't been doing the DFS videos. I've been so busy making those Prize Picks videos early on, and then I'm not getting a ton of time to do the DFS video because either the DFS slate is small or the baseball slate's an early slate. As you guys know, if there's an early slate, I like to lock right in the mornings. Like, I don't want to waste too much time. I like to lock right into the early slate. If there's not an early slate, though, it's a main slate and it's a good size slate. There's no excuses. I should be making videos for it. And I apologize, and I will be making videos and helping y'all through your DFS plays. As always, Greenlight DFS is still here, still doing the optimals, still dominating. And we're just keeping it going. All right. All the tools that are over at Prosmate Easy 2, the member exclusive tools, you can also get over here as well. Soccer, CSGO, all that stuff. When you're a member, when you join any package for Greenlight DFS, you get access to every tool. NBA tool, NHL tool, MLB tool, soccer tool, CSGO tool, all that. You get access to all of that, as well as the DFS optimals, as well as the Greenlight optimizer. We're just offering more content than any other place in DFS, and that's what it's all about, man. So go grab your Greenlight DFS membership, go grab that combo weekly or just a daily, combo daily, whatever you want to do, and let's get straight into the slate for today. I'm feeling great about this slate, man. We got a big 13 game slate today. Incredibly excited for it. Been grinding on it this morning. And I feel really good about some possible low-owned spots that I'm definitely wanting to take advantage of, and I'm going to promote to you guys in this video. Now, first and foremost, we have a game in Coors. Okay, we've got Philly and Colorado in Colorado. Obviously, that's going to be the best hitter spot on the slate that you have. But there's some other spots that are very sneaky that the data screams to get exposure to that are going to be much lower owned, and we're going to talk about those. But first off, we got to get our pitchers right. All right, first pitcher that I'm going to go with, my somewhat spend up pitcher at 9-2 is Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns is at home in Milwaukee going against a Kansas City squad that on the road versus righties has been one of the worst. They strike out the most in the league. They are not very good on the road versus righties. And Corbin Burns, we all know the potential he has. He might not be having the huge season that we're used to seeing out of him. He's had that one big game against Arizona where he got 36. Outside of that, 20s, mid like teens. But expect a bounce back spot for him here. Expect something in the 30s here at home in Milwaukee going against Kansas City. Like I said, this is a team that strikes out a ton versus right-handed pitching, especially on the road. So it's a great spot for him to succeed here in this one, and I'm incredibly excited. Um, to get me some Corbin Burns in this one because I'm able to get Corbin Burns, and then there's plenty of value options on this slate where we have Colorado as well that you know makes it doable. Martin Perez is the next pitcher I'm going to rock with today because if you look at the data, you look at the numbers, Martin Perez might not have the biggest K rate in the league. He definitely doesn't. But when it comes to consistently, Martin Perez has not gotten less than 10. Actually, he got blown up against the Angels in his last game. Outside of that, though, he's consistently been in those teens, low 20 range when it comes to output. He gets the privilege of going to Oakland, which is already a pitcher-friendly ballpark. And then you add on to the fact that Oakland over the last month has been the worst in the league, striking out over 30% versus left-handed pitching over the last month. The worst in the league. Martin Perez is a consistent pitcher, doesn't have a huge K percent, but the fact that Oakland hasn't been hitting lefties very well and been striking out so big versus lefties, that's going to elevate Martin Perez's K rate a little bit. Vegas likes Martin Perez to go over 4.5 strikeouts, so he's going to have a decent amount of Ks. I think he's going to have a safe game here. where he's not giving up a ton either against a bad Oakland offense in this spot. I really love the spot here in a pitcher-friendly ballpark in a high K percent situation at 8-3, and I love pairing these two guys together. They feel very consistent to me. Two guys that feel very good in their spots to me in their matchups. Data backs it completely, and as you guys know, man, every spot needs to have data backing it completely. Don't just play it because people are telling you, oh, you should play it. Make sure it's backed 100%. And this is a fantastic spot by Martin Perez. All right. Next up, when it comes to the bats, I talked about having some sleepers that are going to be slept on that shouldn't be slept on. Let's talk about the first one. First guy that's going to be slept on is going to be Josh Jung for Texas. Texas is a very sneaky offense here in this one. I get it, they're in a pitcher-friendly ballpark, but this matchup against Waldachuk, however you say this dude's name, he's been giving up so high of an ISO. He's giving up over a 350 ISO versus his fastball and versus his changeup, the two pitches that he likes to throw majority of the time. You know his biggest problem is his number one pitch, his favorite pitch is the fastball, and Josh Jung has absolutely torn the whatever off the ball. What is that? The leather. Yeah, there you go. The leather off the ball when it comes to fastballs this year. He has been destroying fastballs. It has been ugly. And at 3.9 for a guy who's been hitting the ball so damn hard versus this pitcher's favorite pitch, and he's a lefty. Jung already versus lefties is fantastic. Is amazing. Hits the ball hard, very hard ISO versus lefties. Sees lefties fantastic. Now he's facing a lefty that can't get righties out and gets hit incredibly hard. And his number one pitch, Josh Jung happens to mash. Lock in some Josh Jung as a low-owned value play at 3.9. The higher-owned pivot off of him would be Alec Bohm. Data supports him as well. I love Alec Bohm. I was close to putting him in the high five. He's one of my favorite Philly bats because of his price. But I'm going to go Jung because he's going to be much lower owned, and he is an absolute monster in this spot. All right. Next up, another guy that could go slept on because you've got some guys in that course game like a Trey Turner that might be the play. But Tommy Edman. Tommy Edman is a fantastic spot here. I love Tommy Edman. He is a guy that I want some exposure to because he's only 4-1, but he's got elite level numbers versus left-handed pitching. Okay, Paxton is being called up from AAA. There's a reason why he's not in the majors and he is in AAA. This is a solid spot here for Tommy Edman against this lefty. Fantastic spot for him. He hits lefties so well. I love St. Louis as well as a stack. St. Louis is another offense that's in a great spot against this guy coming up from AAA. It's a solid spot for Tommy Edman, and I'm excited for that. So I really like Tommy Edman in this spot as well, and only 4-1 at a low-owned spot as well. All right. Last but not least, another offense that is going to be in a great spot is going to be Jarren Duran. Now, Boston of the matchups is going against Adam Wainwright. Adam Wainwright hasn't given up much of an ISO this year. He's not giving up a ton of power to anything. He's doing a good job at limiting too much crazy damage. But in this spot here against Duran, Wainwright's favorite pitch is Duran mashes, okay? And Duran already is a fantastic bat versus a righty. He should bat in the heart of this Boston order at home in Boston. Lefty-righty matchup against Wainwright. High total. Hits these pitches from Wainwright very, very hard. Wainwright's done a very good job at limiting the hard contact. I believe Wainwright's main pitch is a knuckle curveball. And Jarren has been fantastic versus that pitch. So it's a dangerous spot for Wainwright here against Duran. This is a spot, though, whereas it's one of those Vegas totals that possibly could go a lot lower scoring than what is expected by Vegas. I don't expect them to put up as much as what Vegas is expecting. They're expecting Boston to be the second highest total on the slate. Wainwright's done a decent job at limiting the hard, like the ISO, like the power facing him. But there are multiple lefties in this lineup that he is going to be scared of, and that could do a lot of damage. Like Devers, Duran, these guys hit the knuckle curve fantastic and also have that lefty-righty matchup. So they're both in fantastic spots. And once again, he's just another play in a very positive situation that's in the low 4Ks that really make it possible for you to do so much in your lineup. Obviously, the guys in cores you're going to have to pay an elite premium for. And there's multiple guys in that Philly offense that could actually pay off that value. Like Castellanos has been mashing lefties. He's in a fantastic spot. Alec Bohm, I talked about. He's one of the guys that I'm very interested in getting exposure to because not only does he mash lefties, but he hits the pitches of this pitcher very, very well as well. And he's just overall a fantastic spot here in Colorado. So he's a guy that I'm interested in. Out of all the bats, I'm thinking Alec Bohm and Coors is my priority. He's the main guy that I want to get out of that spot. Trey Turner, Castellanos, obviously are going to be fantastic. Um, Outside of that, definitely interested in some righties from Texas against Waldichuk. Waldichuk's been giving up so much to righties. I mean, he just gets his top two pitches he's throwing are just getting hit every time. Like he's just getting destroyed. He's in Oakland, so that helps him a little bit because it's a pitcher-friendly ballpark. But I think Texas rakes against him tonight, and they're a very interesting, cheaper stack to get exposure to in a spot where everybody's going to be going the expensive stack of Colorado and Philly. All right, but that's it. We got Corbin Burns and Martin Perez. Corbin Burns facing Kansas City, who has been very bad on the road versus righties. Martin Perez going against Oakland, who has been very bad at home versus lefties. At home, left-handed pitching, they've been striking out over 30%. Not good at all. Martin Perez is not a high K guy, but we feel good about what he can give us, the floor he can give us in this spot. Plus, Texas is in a spot to rake and give him some run support as well. A big spot for Texas to get the W here, and Martin Perez have a solid, consistent game. Tommy Edman for St. Louis, mashing lefties. Josh Jung, mashing lefties. And Jarren Duran, mashing righties. Fantastic spot for all these guys, and these guys might go low owned because you got a game in course. So very excited about the possibilities tonight. We know it's a huge slate, so do not fear fading super chalk. We know how it is in baseball, man. Sometimes these chalky guys don't end up. Now, grab the guys that have the data backing them that might be chalk. I'm not saying fade the guys who have the amazing everything, every box is checked, and their data behind the play is fantastic, but yet you're still going to fade it because he's going to be high owned. I don't think you should do that. Play the guys where the data backs it, like the Alec Bohms, Castellanos, Trey Turner. Those guys, if you can afford those guys are fantastic spots. But you don't have to force in a Kyle Schwarber who just doesn't hit these pitches from Gomber very well. His main pitch he just doesn't hit very well versus the slider. Gomber's second favorite pitch versus lefties is a slider, and Schwarber cannot hit that to save his life. And it's the lefty-lefty matchup, so you don't have to force in some guys that a lot of people might be forcing in just because he's a Philly bat. But yeah, fantastic spot for these guys. Super excited about the slate today. We got a very juicy, solid game today. Very excited for it. Let's get this money, baby. GreenlightDFS.com. Join the squad. And let's keep smashing. Let's get it. I'm out.